Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Rebecca. This is my husband Murphy, and we live and travel full-time in our 1969 Volkswagen Bus. So today we wanted to talk a little bit about the pros and cons of choosing a Volkswagen Bus to travel full-time in. If you're considering van life, the vehicle you choose is one of the most important decisions that you'll make. So we just want to share a little bit of what we've learned from living in the bus the past several months to hopefully help you with your decision.
First off is a big pro, the simplicity of the Volkswagen Bus, specifically the pre-1972 models. They have, it's called an upright engine. Everything is right in front of you. Very easy to work on, very easy to diagnose if something goes wrong. Parts are really easy to come by. They were making Volkswagen buses in Mexico and Brazil, I think until the 2000s, so finding parts is never really a problem, especially online. And while we're in California right now, there are a lot of places we can find that carry parts for the Volkswagen Bus. And with the ease of getting parts, these buses never really permanently break. It's just a matter of getting a part, taking the broken part off, putting a new part on, and you're good to go.
Our first con is space. So a Volkswagen Bus is significantly smaller than some other van conversions that you'll see out there. This is great because it helps you be more deliberate with the things that you bring with you and only carry with you exactly what you need. But it can be challenging, especially with two people. There is no big storage space like in some vans. You'll see like underneath the bed is a lot of storage. You don't really have that in a Volkswagen Bus. And roof storage can be challenging as well, especially if you have solar panels up there. So we, for instance, have a 200-watt solar panel that takes up the majority of our roof space. So we only have like a little itty bitty space in the back that we have a toolie bag on for like tools and parts and stuff. So you have about 50 square feet. That's a generous estimation for all your stuff and your people that are gonna live in the bus. So it can be a little bit of a challenge.
So next we have a pro. It's gonna sound like a con, but it's a pro. Our top speed and top cruising speed is 65 miles per hour. We like to hold it at about 55 miles per hour, just to be a little nicer to the engine. So needless to say, we're not going on the interstate, we're not going on the freeway. We are taking back roads. Going the speed is a fantastic way to see the country. There are a lot of things that were we taking interstate or freeway we wouldn't have seen. We would have cruised right by them. So needless to say, we have learned to embrace the slow travel life, and we're really enjoying seeing all these little parts of the country that we would have missed otherwise.
Oh, it's getting hot. These socks are too much. Our next pro is community. When you become a Volkswagen owner, you immediately become part of a very close-knit tribe of people who are all very willing to help, very willing to share their knowledge and help you out. Whether that be online forums like the Samba or apps like Van Alert, or just being pulled over on the side of the road with your engine bay open, you will find somebody who will want to stop and help you.
So this next one is a con. When you drive a Volkswagen Bus, a classic Volkswagen Bus, you can't pull into any shop around the country and expect people there to know how to work on the bus. So it's a good idea to have a working knowledge of your bus, and ideally have a mechanic or somebody who knows the Volkswagen Bus is on speed dial that you can call to bounce ideas off of when you run into trouble.
Or even tap into some of those communities that we mentioned earlier. YouTube is a great resource, the Samba, Van Alert, all of those are great places to find help with your bus. Our next pro is stealthiness. Stealthiness? Is that a word?
Sure. Sleuthy.
Well, that would be like detective.
Ooh, Detective Pearl.
Should we get her a magnifying glass? This is going downhill. So our next pro is size. So even though size can be a con when you're thinking about things like interior space or storage, it can actually be a pro when it comes to driving. So you can take a Volkswagen Bus on any street. You can take a car. That could be like a city street or a back mountain road. And some places where you wouldn't be able to take like a bigger RV or even some of the bigger Sprinter vans, the Volkswagen Bus can go. And it's also good for more stealth camping situations, so you can park it in a resident road in a neighborhood and most likely go undetected, versus if you were in an RV or a bigger camper, people would know okay, you're sleeping inside there.
So this next one is a con, overheating. She is an air-cooled girl, so on those really hot days, if the air is hot, the engine doesn't effectively cool and gets a little hotter than I'd like. So always a good idea in a Volkswagen bus to have some sort of system in place to keep an eye on at least the oil temperature. Volkswagen didn't see fit to put one in originally, so any sort of aftermarket thing that you can put in there to keep an eye on the oil temperature is a great idea.
So our last con is that a Volkswagen bus can be pretty difficult to both heat and ventilate. So in terms of heating, you can put some extra insulation behind the door panels, which will help keep some heat in if you're using something like a propane heater. But a bus is primarily made up of windows, so a lot of heat just escapes right through the windows, so it can be difficult to stay warm. And ventilation can be a challenge as well. On a lot of RVs or van conversions, you'll see like a roof vent or a roof fan, which can help circulate some air through and keep some condensation out. So we didn't have that option in the bus because of the pop top and because of our solar panel placement. So it's a challenge sometimes to keep things dry depending on the climate. So for instance, it rained yesterday and we had a bunch of wet clothes in here, so overnight the entire bus steamed up. The ceiling was dripping wet. All of our clothes are still wet. We had to hang them out to dry. So ventilation can be a real issue depending on the climate that you're in. Our last one is a pro, and it's just that Volkswagen buses are cute. They have a lot of style, they turn a lot of heads, and we meet a lot of people because we drive a Volkswagen bus. So many people just come up to us and want to have a look at her or take their picture with her or tell us their stories about owning a Volkswagen bus. So it's been a great way to meet people along our travels. Alright, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're considering van life or buying a Volkswagen bus, I hope this was helpful for you. We put out new videos every Tuesday, so make sure you subscribe to follow along with our travels. Bye friends!
There's a fly in here.
We want to be on YouTube. Ready? Bus as
a living arrangement, traveling arrangement, flower arrangement, drapery. Are you a DJ?
Oh, we're never gonna finish. Shake it up.
Oh, your edit magic will happen here. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I say.
I'm just waiting on you here, Giggles. Is it my go? Is it your go?
I don't smell anything. Is my sniffer broken? I think my sniffer's broken. Escapes, real X-scapes. What is that with an X?
Espresso. You're welcome.